paid my parents' bills for 5 years while my sister did nothing. When I asked them to babysit my daughter for one night, they laughed, "We're not your servants." So I cut them off. Days later, they were crying outside my house. My name's Alex, and I never thought I'd be the kind of person to cut off my own parents, but after everything they put me through, I don't regret it for a second. For 5 years, I paid their bills, rent, utilities, groceries, anything they needed, I covered it. They always had an excuse. My dad had back problems that made working impossible. My mom insisted she was too old to get a job, even though she was barely in her 50s. And my sister, Emily? She never lifted a damn finger. Emily was the golden child. She could crash her car, rack up debt, drop out of school, and still, my parents would defend her like she walked on water. "She's just finding herself," my mom would say. "She'll figure it out eventually." Meanwhile, I was the one who had to figure everything out. From the moment I turned 18, I worked my ass off to get where I am, late nights, long hours, stress, sacrifice, you name it. And because I made something of myself, my parents treated me like their personal ATM. It started small, a little help with rent here, a bill there. Then it became monthly payments. After a while, they didn't even ask anymore, they just expected it. "Family helps family," my mom would say whenever I hesitated. "You're doing so well, sweetheart. It's not like you can't afford it." And for years, I let it slide. I told myself they needed it, that I was doing the right thing, that maybe, just maybe, they'd appreciate it someday. But appreciation never came, only entitlement. The breaking point wasn't immediate. It was more like a slow realization, a pile of small betrayals that eventually crushed me. It started when I got married. My wife, Sarah, never said anything at first, but I could tell she didn't like the way my parents treated me. She saw what I refused to see, that they didn't love me so much as they loved what I could do for them. Even after our daughter was born, they never changed. I thought having a granddaughter would make them different, that they'd want to be involved. But Emily still came first. My mom would cancel visits last minute because Emily needed her for something. My dad never bothered to come at all. If I didn't make the effort, they wouldn't see my daughter at all. Then came the moment that shattered everything. I had an important work event, something I couldn't miss. Sarah had a last-minute business trip. We just needed one night. One night of help. So I called my mom and asked if she and dad could babysit. She laughed, actually laughed. "Oh, Alex, we're not your servants," she said. "We raised our kids already. It's not our job to take care of yours." I don't even remember what I said next. I just remember hanging up and staring at the wall, feeling like a fool. 5 years of paying their bills, covering their expenses, making sure they never had to struggle, and the one time I asked for something in return, they dismissed me like I was nothing. I wish I could say that was the end of it, but it got worse, a lot worse. I sat there for a long time, phone still in my hand, replaying the conversation in my head. Maybe I misheard her. Maybe she didn't mean it like that. But deep down, I knew better. The years of being used, the endless excuses, the way they put Emily on a pedestal while treating me like a walking wallet, it all made perfect sense now. Still, I needed to hear it from them directly. I needed to see them say it to my face. So I got in my car and drove straight to their house. The drive was short, but my mind was racing the entire way. I wasn't even sure what I was going to say. I wasn't the kind of person who lashed out or got into screaming matches. But I felt something bubbling up inside me, something I had pushed down for years. By the time I pulled into their driveway, my hands were shaking. I took a deep breath, got out of the car, and knocked on the door. No answer. I knocked again, harder this time. Then I heard voices inside. The door opened, and there was my dad, looking surprised to see me. "Alex," he said, like I was some stranger showing up unannounced. I didn't even bother with small talk. "I just want to make sure I heard Mom correctly," I said, pushing past him into the house. "You guys can't babysit my daughter for one night because you're not my servants?" My mom was sitting on the couch, but she didn't look at all guilty. If anything, she looked annoyed. "Alex, why are you making such a big deal out of this?" Before I could respond, I heard something from the other room, a little voice, a giggle. I turned my head toward the hallway, and that's when I saw it. Emily's kids. My parents were babysitting Emily's kids. My heart dropped. My mom, seeing the look on my face, immediately went into damage control mode. "Alex, honey, this is different." "Different?" My voice was eerily calm. "Explain to me how this is different." My dad, who never had much of a spine, sighed and rubbed his temples. "Your sister had a really bad headache. She just needed a little rest." I stared at him in disbelief. "A headache?" I repeated. "She has a headache, so you drop everything to watch her kids. But when I, the one who's been paying your bills for years, ask you to babysit for one night, suddenly, you raised your kids already." My mom rolled her eyes as if I was being dramatic. "Alex, it's not like that. Your sister Emily gets everything handed to her," I snapped, "and I get used." My mom's face hardened. "That's not fair. We appreciate everything you do for us." I let out a cold, humorless laugh. "Really? Because it sure as hell doesn't feel like it." Emily suddenly appeared in the hallway, rubbing her eyes like she just woke up from a nap. "Ugh, what is all this yelling?" She whined. Then she saw me and groaned. Oh my God, are you seriously throwing a tantrum right now? I turned to her, my jaw clenched.